Bourbon Street does not normally look like this. A lot of construction going on. When we first got here, the water was maybe about here, so you could see some of the number 2. Then it reached up to here, covering the entire number 2. You see these markings on the houses, and this 0 is really important because that means 0 casualties found inside, so that means 0 people dead. We're following breaking news near Franklin and Lavender, where police say a murder suspect barricaded himself inside of a home. Now, let me get out the way so you can see what's going on. Right now, it looks like a nice day, but just a few hours ago, it was a completely different story, and this damage tells that story. A tornado hit this area. Police just pulled away from here about 30 seconds ago at Covenant House. This is where 3 of the suspects lived. A lot of heavy rain causing some flooding. If you take a look behind me, you can see barricades up. This is something I thought I wouldn't have to use here. This is a snow scraper. We're going to show you how much snow actually got on this car. You can see it just come off. Visitation for fallen police officer Marcus McNeil starts in about a half an hour. Earlier today, we talked to police officers who say they are feeling double the pain.
Lost a brother, something more than a policeman to us.
Fallen New Orleans police officer Marcus McNeil was a Purple Knight, a 2006 graduate of St. Augustine High School, forming a bond these men say is indescribable.
This brotherhood is unlike any other in the country.
Whether they learned it here at St. Aug on AP Turo and Law, or when it was London Avenue.
That school puts something in you that can never be taken away from you.
That brotherhood, that stewardship, that wanting to help your fellow man or woman, that was instilled in us at St. Aug.
And the reason they say so many St. Aug graduates are now on the police force. And when they lose a Purple Knight and a brother in blue, the pain cuts deep.
And when we lose a Purple Knight, like we lost Officer McNeil, sure, it's tough on us.
He was a good man. He really was. Always smiling, positive attitude. It hurt. It hurt to lose him.
I once heard someone say, you know, that pride is a sin. And I guess that's one level that Purple Knights must be sinning, because we are so proud of all of our officers, but especially those who have given their life in the line of duty, because it's the ultimate sacrifice.
A sacrifice 6 graduates from St. Aug have made. These officers may not have their brothers on the streets anymore, but they now have one more Purple Knight watching over them.
The love, the brotherhood, it's indescribable. And we carry that to our graves with us. Once a Purple Knight, always a Purple Knight.
We will serve you with true devotion and be loyal sons of yours forevermore.
Visitation here at Rhodes Funeral Home, 5:30 to 7:30. Officer McNeil's funeral is tomorrow. Reporting live from Central City, Kristin Pierce, Eyewitness News. The shooting happened here. You can see a bullet hole is still in this white car. We talked to people who live in this area, and they're frustrated over the amount of crime happening.
And then, like, when everybody got ready to go, that's when the shots just started coming.
2 people were shot last night on Skyview Drive, and the shooting left all this damage.
A bullet went through there, too.
Bullet holes in the house,
Right there.
through this windshield.
That's why the window all bust out.
And the back window of this SUV completely busted out. Tansy Foster says her tire was shot out. She says it was scary, but what terrified her even more was that her 1-year-old daughter and 3-month-old son were right there with her when it happened.
As the bullets, like, hitting the car, I'm thinking they hitting my car because I'm parked in the middle in between both cars. It was so many shots.
Scary.
Yeah.
Not just because you were there, but your kids were there.
My kids was there. Yeah, that was the scariest part.
Tansy says the violence, especially in New Orleans East, is out of control.
It's crazy, like you never know what's gonna happen. They just need to stop the killing. Stop all that, like, some people you can't even tell why they beefing, but they just beefing. It's really out of hand.
What happened here has some neighbors worried so much that they didn't want to show their face on camera.
The crime is out of control. There's always something happening back here. We need a change. That's all I can say. We need a change. Not just for me, but for our young people.
Including Tansy's 2 children.
The incident probably was something stupid anyway that happened yesterday. You never know what went on. But at the same time, it could have been innocent lives that could have been taken over something that was so simple.
Now, in this shooting, a 16-year-old boy was shot along with a 19-year-old man. New Orleans police are still investigating. Reporting live in New Orleans East, Kristin Pierce, Eyewitness News. Right now, there's a group of protesters out here, and protesters have been out here for days. But if this bill passes in the House and Senate, it will pose a problem. It would end all this, but it will also pose a problem for the city of New Orleans, who plans to remove the 3 remaining Confederate monuments in the city. The Louisiana Military Memorial Conservation Act is making its way in front of lawmakers. The bill would protect military memorials on public property from being altered, removed, relocated, or destroyed. The only way any of that could happen is if there's a majority vote by residents during an election.
I've been on record from day one to have a vote.
Courts have said this is New Orleans property, and New Orleans can do with its property whatever it wants to do.
After a lengthy battle in court, the city of New Orleans was granted permission to remove 4 Confederate monuments on city property. PGT Beauregard, Jefferson Davis, and Robert E. Lee are still up. Liberty Place was removed last month, and since then, things have really heated up.
We want to rid the city of all remnants of white supremacy.
That's the message from Take 'em Down NOLA, and on the other side is the Monumental Task Committee, and they say it's about education, making sure to distance themselves from protesters with Confederate flags.
It's a shame. It's a shame what's happened. I mean, our city is noted for not having this kind of racial tension, and people from both sides are coming into the city. But the depiction sometimes is not very accurate. That's our goal, is to educate people why these things were wrong, why the battle was wrong, but not to take things down that are up.
Statues are not history. History, the written word, is history. These are representations of people that they wanted to adulate, and so we're opposed to that.
But what they don't seem to be opposed to is bringing back peace to the city of New Orleans.
Bring back peace into our city, because it's horrible right now.
And we've reached out to the city of New Orleans, and they say they are moving forward with their plans to remove the 3 remaining Confederate monuments. They would not give us a timeline for that, but they said it will happen as soon as possible. Live in Mid-City, Kristin Pierce, Eyewitness News.